Welcome to your very new unit. This unit is super fun. It's called Stretching and Shrinking. This unit is kind of just all about properties of similar shapes and what is going to make a shape similar to another shape. So let's start off with this one. Which one doesn't belong? One of my favorite activities. And I want you just to kind of take a look and notice what they all have in common. And now take a look to see what's different about them. And out of them, we have to decide one that doesn't belong. Now, for this unit, we can see that we actually have a shape. We have three right angles, three right triangles, right? And so we'll call this triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3, and triangle 4. Now, I'm going to argue a case that triangle 4 is the shape that doesn't belong. And this is why. Triangle 1, 2, and 3 all have right triangles. But here's why else they are similar. If we were to take a ruler, this length and this length would have a ratio. In fact, this is going to be 3/4 of this. So if triangle 1 is our base triangle and it has a unit measured of 1, then triangle 2 would have 3/4 of a unit of the triangle 1. And then we took triangle 2 and we shrunk it down a little bit more to triangle 3. And I shrunk this by 50%. So now think to yourself, what's going to be half of 3/4? And this length here would actually be 3/8. And notice that the angles stay the same. So this angle over here corresponds with this angle and this angle. And if we got our protractors out, we would also notice that these angles are the same. So now let's think about triangle 4. Does it have a right triangle? No. Does it have a right angle? No, it does not have a right angle. Also, if I were to get out a ruler and measure it, there would not be a ratio between the base length here and the base length of triangle 1. Okay, so for this assignment, we can quickly see that triangle 4 is a triangle that does not belong. So in this unit, we're going to identify similar figures. We're going to start constructing what we call scale drawings. We're going to use scale factors and ratios to describe relationships, and we're going to find distances and heights that cannot be measured directly. So over here, we kind of have this like fun little drawing. What does it mean when a drawing is not to scale? And it says that this human being is 1.8 meters or 6 feet, and that the width of here is 40 feet. And so when we think about the scale of a drawing, we want to think that obviously these were shrunken, but the proportions of the human's head and the arms and the legs were all taken into consideration. The same here is for this dinosaur, right? The proportions are going to be the same in terms of the length from the tail to its head and so forth. Now, 1.1 and 1.2 are going to be using this triangle rubber band activity. And you want to ensure that you watch this video first because you're going to actually be doing this at home. And if you don't have a rubber band, that's okay. Just see how you can get creative to do it on your own. And I really want you to be paying attention in the video as to what they are doing and also why they are doing it that way. This unit is super fun. The one thing I want you to remember is that ratios are key. So we've talked a lot about ratios. So if you have a good foundation of ratios and you kind of understand what that means, then you're going to be doing it. You're going to have a phenomenal time in this unit. Remember that when we talk about ratios, let's say, for example, this side length here is 8. And let's say that this is 1/4 of triangle 1. Okay. Well, what is going to be 1/4 of 8? That's going to be 2. Okay. So we can see that there's a relation and there's a proportional relationship between this length here and this length here. I want you to make sure that you come to office hours if you have questions. They are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock, and I can't wait to see your work this week.